Hello everyone, this is Shivani and welcome back to my channel Let Fun. I hope you all are doing well because today we are going to discuss a soulful book that will bring you a ray of light in the utter darkness, that will make you believe that there is a silver lining in every dark cloud, and that will help you to understand that there is some good in every bad. Okay, so not taking much of your time and not asking much of the riddles, let me tell you that it's the famous love story, that is A Fault in Our Stars by John Green. So if you haven't read the book till now, let me tell you what it is all about. So let's begin. So this book basically revolves around the cancer patients. Okay, I know it's a gloomy topic, but be with me because again it brings definitely some amount of happiness, a ray of light in the darkness, the darkness that is here a metaphor for cancer. So this story is basically about a cancer patient named Hazel Grace. So we are seeing that she goes to a cancer support group, okay, where all the cancer patients gather there, and it's in the church, okay, and everyone tells their own story about what problem they are facing and how do they feel after getting the support. And the person, who is conducting that support group, he always tells them about his story, that what all he has lost in his journey on fighting the cancer and how he is doing now and everything. And then he says that we all are there with you people, and at the end he recites the name of the people who have lost to cancer, okay, so who could not survive. And then they pray for their well-being wherever they are, उनकी आत्मा की शांति के लिए वो प्रार्थना करते हैं. Now it is a way to support, to help the cancer patients, but you all can understand that it is very depressing. And the same is with Hazel Grace. She loads the visits to this cancer support group because you are already suffering, like you need someone to divert your mind कि कोई किसी अच्छी बारे में बात करे, आपको किसी तरीके से हंसा दे. लेकिन आप जब वहाँ जा रहे हो तो आप देख रहे हो कि आप अपने ही जैसे और लोगों से मिल रहे हो, आपकी बीमारियाँ ही बीमारियाँ आसपास हैं, यू आर सराउंडेड विद पेशेंट्स एंड रिपीटेडली आपको वही सेम स्टोरी सुनने को मिल रही है, विच इज़ वेरी सैड स्टोरी. So she doesn't want to go, but she has to go because of her parents, because of her mother. The parents are also right, they don't understand, they just want their daughter Hazel to go out and meet with new people, different people, because just staying inside in the house locked up also brings you like depression sort of a thing. It's very depressing. So Hazel sees the struggle her mother goes through. She has left her job and everything, and she's employed as 24 into 7 Hazel's nurse. So she does not have the heart like to really say no to her. So she goes to the cancer support group meetings. And luckily it brings a good twist because she meets, can you guess? It's a love story. Of course, she meets the love of her life there, and his name is Augustus Waters. So he had not been coming there before, and but now on this particular day he comes there and he is accompanying Isaac. Isaac is another cancer patient, and he has cancer in his eyes. And of course, when you read about it, it is very heart-wrenching. It's very sad that he has already lost his one eye, and now very soon he would be losing the other one also. So usually क्या होता है, जब हमारे किसी बॉडी पार्ट में कैंसर होता है तो उसको निकाल दिया जाता है so that कैंसर फैले नहीं. बट ऐसा आइसैक के साथ नहीं हुआ. So he had a malignant tumor and it spreads to his next eye also, and so other eye also has to be very quickly removed. So of course, we feel that how helpless it must have been, that he won't be able to see now. It's a big thing. So it's very sad and very depressing. So this person, Augustus Waters, accompanies him. He was also a cancer patient, but right now he's completely healed. So he had cancer in his bones, and so some of his limbs do not function very perfectly. So he also faces some kind of problem. And our female protagonist Hazel Grace is suffering from lung cancer. So she always keeps saying that my lungs don't know how to work, because she has to be incubated to oxygen cylinder all the time so that she can breathe. So life is pretty tough for all of us, all of them. But then yes, Augustus comes into picture, and they, you know, make a eye contact, Augustus and Hazel, and some things click, and it was the first time that Hazel actually participated in the support group meeting. So basically Augustus has a fear of oblivion कि एक दिन सब कुछ मैं मुझे कुछ पता नहीं चलेगा. So he just wants to gather knowledge, and he wants to leave a mark on this world. Like he wants to do something. You will get to know later कि when he plays the video game also na, he always tries to save some or the other person, कि he wants to do something heroic, कि मैंने society के लिए कुछ बड़ा किया है, कि people will remember me. He wants to add a meaning to his life, जो शायद हम सब you know चाहते हैं, और हमें भी यही बोला जाता है कि don't live like animals. आते हैं, खाते हैं, सोते हैं, मर जाती है, तो सब एनिमल्स भी करते हैं. सो डू समथिंग फॉर ग्रेटर गुड. और ऑगस्टस वॉटर्स के अंदर भी एक ऐसी ही इच्छा है कि मैं कुछ करके जाऊँ सो दैट आई कैन लीव माई मार्क ऑन दिस वर्ल्ड, सो दैट दिस वर्ल्ड वुड रिमेंबर मी. बट हेजल ग्रेस जो है वो शी इज़ कम्प्लीटली डिफरेंट. लाइक शी इज़ struggling with her disease, with her everything, and she does not think about all this the greater good kind of a thing. And she says कि all मतलब लाइफ में और इतनी सारी प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, एंड यू आर लाइक वरीड अबाउट ओब्लिवियन. और वो और सारी प्रॉब्लम्स गिनाती है कि the knowledge and oblivion are not that important, we have some other struggles also. So they instantly like click in the sense कि उन दोनों को वो दोनों बहुत मतलब इंटरेस्टिंग लगते हैं. एंड फाइनली ऑगस्टस वॉटर approaches Hazel Grace, and initially she is not very supportive, but then they go, and Augustus invites her to a movie. और बस बातों ही बातों में कुछ ऐसा होता है, she finds him so interesting that she agrees on the spot कि चलो आज तुम्हारे घर जाकर हम मूवी देखते हैं. Her mother was there in the parking lot. वो थोड़ा सा लेट आई थी so that she could give time to Hazel to make some new friends, and that had worked, of course, a mother's instinct. So she tells her mother that she would be going to the house of Augustus Waters, and the mother also agrees, and they both leave. We get to know that Augustus drives very, very rashly, partially because his limbs are not functioning like very, very well, and partly because he's not a good driver or something. But anyhow, they reach Augustus' house. Hazel meets his parents, and they are very casual about it. They are very happy about it. So maybe Augustus brings other friends also, and they are happy that their son is also having a company and all that stuff, and then they watch a movie. Now after that, they start talking about books, and here it is very, very important that Hazel Grace is obsessed about a book known as An Imperial Affliction. Okay, and it is written by Peter Van Houten. Now this An Imperial Affliction is also a book about a cancer patient known as Anna. And this is quite interesting because a lot of metaphors are used in here, and Anna basically calls herself as a side effect of mutation. We all know, मतलब जब हमारे जीन्स होते हैं तो उसके अंदर कुछ म्यूटेशंस हो जाती हैं, कुछ चेंजेस हो जाते हैं जो कभी कभी हमारी बॉडी पर एक साइड इफेक्ट छोड़ देते हैं, विच इज़ नॉट ऑलवेज गुड. सो कैंसर इज वन सच साइड इफेक्ट. सो शी सेज दैट आई एम अ साइड इफेक्ट, और ये म्यूटेशंस ऑब्वियसली ज़रूरी हैं ताकि डाइवर्सिटी बनी रहे, एंड दिस डाइवर्सिटी ओनली हेल्प्स अस टू सर्वाइव. And there is one more interesting thing, that usually the cancer patients start some charity for cancer patients only. But here Anna says that it's bit of narcissistic if you ask her. So she basically starts a charity foundation, but that is not to cure cancer, that is to cure cholera. So it's a very different and an interesting book, and Hazel has read it multiple times. But the problem with this book is it ends abruptly. Okay, not all the questions are answered about Anna's mother and her possible love story with some guy whom Anna considers as a con man, and then what happens to Anna, and also there are a lot of questions that are left unanswered, and the book ends abruptly. So this Hazel Grace has this undying wish of meeting Peter Van Houten and knowing all the answers to her questions. Okay, but it's not very easy, of course, to contact Peter Van Houten. He has not written another book, and we just don't know how to contact him. So, anyways, Hazel tells this to Augustus and gives him a copy also to read, and Augustus gives her a copy of his favorite book, and they both start reading it. Slowly we find that even Augustus gets so much influenced about an imperial affliction that he's completely in love with the book, and they both decide and they both talk so much about the book, and that book becomes, a link that connects both of them, that bonds both of them. So slowly and gradually they start talking over the phone, they start meeting, and they develop a very, very good friendship. The condition of Hazel, starts deteriorating, and then she finds out that there is a way to contact Peter Van Houten, because Augustus contacts him through his secretary, and he also receives a reply. So now she is very, very, mesmerized. How can it happen? Like, she had been trying on it for years, but Augustus did it. So she also tries to contact Peter Van Houten through his secretary, and she writes everything, and in return she gets a response that Peter Van Houten would disclose what happens at the end if ever they meet in person, and if she gets well, then she's invited to Amsterdam. Amsterdam is the place where Peter Van Houten is currently residing. Now Hazel is like, she is so happy, and she screams her lungs out. And here there is one emotional scene also, that her mother immediately comes running dressed in a bathrobe, and she's panting ki what happened. Matlab, she is so much stressed, and then she says that I was just trying to take a shower for 5 minutes peacefully, but just forget it and tell me what happened to you. So you can see, matlab, it's not always just the patient who suffers, it's the family, or it's their caretakers also. So we get to know, matlab, they are always, in that trauma, in that anticipation ki pata nahi kab kya ho jaye, and life is really, really stressful. And we get to know that Hazel was also somewhere worried, because she had once heard her mother say to the father कि अगर हेजल को कुछ हो गया, I won't be a mother anymore, and I don't know what else to do, because all I am right now is a mother. So it tells you कि मतलब कैसे पेरेंट्स की दुनिया सिर्फ बच्चों के आसपास घूमती है, और अगर उन्हें कुछ भी हो जाता है तो how, like, it's such a tough situation for them. So book has a lot of emotional scenes somewhere around the corner, but coming back here, so she tells them the good news, but again it becomes a little sad, because cancer treatment is not cheap, it's really expensive. So they have lost already so much of money, and now they don't have any more money to send Hazel to the Amsterdam. So things again turn gloomy. Then she tells all this to Augustus, and we find that in their country they have a foundation who fulfills one wish of the patients. Okay, so Augustus suggests that why don't she uses her wish, and then she tells that she had already used her wish, and where did she use her wish? To go to Disneyland. So she does not have any further wish to make. But Augustus Waters, being very, very intelligent and mature, had saved his wish till the last end, and he decides that he would use his wish, and he would ask that foundation to send them to the Amsterdam so that they can meet Peter Van Houten. Okay, so he decides to use his wish for Hazel Grace, but then he says that I also want to meet Peter Van Houten, I also like this book. So everything is decided, although there comes a lot of difficulties, because doctors are not ready to agree. Hazel was not doing well, so there's a lot of panel discussion whether she can go or not, whether it would be safe or not. And by the time the cancer treatment was not there, so they were just experimenting. So these cancer patients feel like lab rats कि sometimes they are bringing this chemical, sometimes they are bringing that chemical, that drug कि शायद ये help कर देगा, शायद वो help कर देगा, but there is no clarity what would help. Things delay a little, but then eventually they get the permission कि जो Hazel Grace है वो Amsterdam जा सकती है if there is someone to accompany her and the mother accompanies them. So they both pack for the Amsterdam. They are really excited and then they go to Augustus' house to pick him up. और जब वो उसको like बुलाने जा रहे होते, they hear noises from inside that Augustus' parents didn't want him to leave. Okay, so there was a lot of screaming and shouting, and Augustus was like almost crying that it is my life, let me decide what I want to do and I have to go. So they do not listen to the whole conversation. Hazel and her mother, she tells that it would be wrong if they eavesdrop. They go and settle down in the car, and after some time Augustus comes out and he's like very cool and everything. He never once shows that he has some kind of issues going on. Now Augustus is also a very interesting character, and one of the most interesting things about him is that he always keeps a cigarette in his mouth. Okay, and that was the thing that interested the most to Hazel Grace. So basically, first when he kept the cigarette in his mouth, she was like, I don't want to talk to you, and you put the end like right here and there. So basically the thing that causes cancer, you are still using it. You are suffering from cancer and you still cannot give away this bad habit of smoking. And then he tells her that I never smoke, I just keep a cigarette in my mouth, and why, like I want to tell it कि you are dangerous, तुम मुझे मार सकती हो, but I will not give you the power to kill me. So I keep it in my mouth, but I never lights it. So it's his way कि देखो मैंने मौत को अपने कितने पास रखा है, पर मैं उसको पावर नहीं दे रहा कि वो मुझे हार्म कर सके. But he always keeps a packet of cigarettes with him, but he never smokes. So now coming back, so they now reach Amsterdam, okay, and they visit a lot of places, and Peter Van Houten also arranges a very romantic dinner for Augustus and Hazel Grace, and by this time they both start developing feelings for each other, and they have a very great time with each other. Then they finally go and meet Peter Van Houten, and we get to realize that Peter is now completely a drunk man. Okay, his morning starts with hard drinks, and he drinks a lot, and he's not in his senses. He cannot even talk properly to one another, anyone. So we get to know that all those romantic dinners were not arranged by Peter but were arranged by his secretary. That reply was given by his secretary, and Peter when gets to know, he is like, अरे मुझे थोड़ी पता था तुम सच में यहाँ आकर टपक जाओगे, मैंने तो बस ऐसे ही लिख दिया था कि चलो कंसोल करने के लिए कि ठीक है, but I never knew that you would come here. And he does not give a single reply to them. He says that it was just a book, it's not reality, and I don't know what happens later, and I cannot tell you anything. So he is extremely rude with them, and that ends like really bad for both Hazel and Augustus. They both leave from there dejectedly, but they do not end their trip, saying that they will not let that Peter Van Houten affect them, and they go and see Anne Frank's house and everything, and then they return. Okay, Hazel is of course somewhere sad that she did not get answers to the questions, but Augustus somewhere feels that something had to be there, that it must have been something personal, that book, because maybe that is why he was reacting so very badly. Later on we get to know that Augustus was absolutely right. Anna, the book, the protagonist of the book, An Imperial Affliction, was basically his daughter, and she obviously lost to cancer. He could not do anything about it, and he could not handle it. See, death is a very big thing. Everyone has his own ways to deal with it. कुछ लोग बहुत strongly कर जाते हैं deal. Maybe they start doing some social work or social service or something कि वो बाकी लोगों को help कर सके. But in case of Peter Van Houten, he was completely devastated. he never wrote a book again, and he just went to live in seclusion, and he just kept on drinking and made his life hell. So yes, it had been very very personal for him, and so he was suffering on some other level because of this, all that this happened. Now they return, and another twist comes, and that we realize that Augustus was also not completely cured of cancer. So when he returns, we see that he gets extremely ill. Hazel's mother get to know this, and he warns Augustus. He like gives him the ultimatum to tell all this to Hazel on his own, and that was the reason that Augustus' parents didn't want him to travel to Amsterdam, because they knew that he was in a very critical condition. But Augustus wanted to help Hazel because he always wanted to do something good, and any which ways he knew that his condition had to worsen and someday he has to lose to death. So there was no point just waiting and lazing around. It was better to do something that they all wanted. So now things get so bad that Hazel feels that for the first time she feels like the most healthy person in that room. Means Augustus' condition gets so bad, he's not able to sit, he's not able to do anything, he feels so helpless. And on one night he goes out to buy a pack of cigarettes, but his condition worsens so much. He calls Hazel, and she runs, and he's covered in vomit and everything. Means he's in a pathetic condition, and then he cries that I just wanted to buy a pack of cigarettes on my own, but guess what, I am not good for anything. And he cries and cries, and then he is again admitted to the hospital. So his condition deteriorates, but we just get to know कि मतलब he had that lot of courage कि उसको पता था उसकी तबीयत इतनी खराब है, but still he didn't let it show, and he did all that he wanted. But eventually cancer takes a toll on him, and he is not able to do anything. Isaac has turned totally blind now, but still Isaac and Hazel come there sometimes. They help him out, and then again, as we know that Augustus was a very interesting character, so he plans a funeral before his death only, and he calls Isaac and Hazel to meet him in that church where that cancer support group meetings occur. And there in Christians, we know that in funerals all the people come and they say a few lines about the dead person. So he says, I want you to say a few lines about me. I want to know that what you will say when I die. I want to be there. So it's a very, I don't know what to make of it. And Isaac comes and gives the speech, and I would like to read a few paragraphs for you, because they are of course like really nice. I love them. So first तो Isaac being a friend, he just बहुत ज़्यादा उसकी बुराइयाँ करता है Augustus की कि वो ऐसा है वैसा है. Like for example, I'm telling you, Augustus Waters talked so much that he would interrupt you at his own funeral. Okay, and like lot of things, that he was a self-actualizing bastard, but we forgive him. We forgive him not because he had a heart as figuratively good as his literal one son. Okay, so there were a lot of things, but then there was an emotional paragraph that I would really like to tell you. When the scientists of the future show up at my house with robot eyes and they tell me to try them on, I will tell the scientists to screw off, because I do not want to see a world without him. And by this time, obviously, everyone was in tears. Obviously, चाहे हम कितना भी prepared हो, चाहे हमें पता हो कि things are not going to last forever, it still hurts. And once Isaac's turn was over, Hazel comes, and I would read the entire letter, entire eulogy, what she had written. My name is Hazel. Augustus Waters was the great star-crossed love of my life. Ours was an epic love story, and I won't be able to get more than a sentence into it without disappearing into a puddle of tears. Gus knew. Gus is basically the nickname of Augustus. Gus knows I will not tell you our love story because, like all real love stories, it will die with us, as it should. I hope that he would be eulogizing me because there's no one I would rather have. And then she starts crying because she has always felt कि वो पहले मरेगी and Augustus would be the one who would be speaking on her funeral, but now Augustus was in a even worse condition and she starts crying. Okay, how not to cry? How am I? Okay, okay. I took a few breaths and went back to the page. I can't talk about her love story, so I will talk about math. I am not a mathematician, but I know this. There are infinite numbers between 0 and 1. There's 0.1 and 0.12 and 0.112 and an infinite collection of others. Of course, there's a bigger infinite set of numbers between 0 and 2 or 0 and million. Some infinities are bigger than other infinities. A writer we used to like taught us that there are days, many of them, when I reset the size of my unbounded set. I want more numbers than I am likely to get. And God, I want more numbers for Augustus Waters than he got. But Gus, my love, I cannot tell you how thankful I am for our little infinity. I wouldn't trade it for the world. You gave me a forever within the numbered days, and I'm grateful. And I absolutely love this line that you gave me a forever within the numbered days. कहते हैं ना जिंदगी लंबी नहीं बड़ी होनी चाहिए. So although they could not live for long, but whatever they had was magical. Their love story that they had, वो जितना भी जिएंगे वो लव स्टोरी उनकी उनके साथ हमेशा रहेगी. And that was a beautiful, beautiful feeling. And after a few days, as you would guess, of course, Augustus Water dies. And with him, like certain wish to live dies within Hazel Grace also. She's heartbroken. She does not know what to do. And then she finds Peter Van Houten at Augustus' funeral. So we get to know that Augustus had contacted Peter Van Houten for something, and there are some signals that Hazel feels that Augustus must have written something, must have left something for her. So she searches and searches, and then she finds that maybe she had not written a letter for her, but she had Augustus had not written a letter for Hazel, but maybe he had written it for someone else. And then she finds that it was for Peter Van Houten that Augustus Waters had written. So she again contacts his secretary, and after a lot of struggle, they finally found out that letter that Augustus had written. So what had Augustus done? I would just read a few lines. Augustus had basically asked Peter Van Houten to write a eulogy for Hazel. So he says that when Hazel will die, I would not be there, and I am a shitty writer, so I want you like to just organize my ideas and write a perfect eulogy. And Peter Van Houten just sends that exact letter to Hazel Grace because he says that I have nothing more to add. It's perfect. I cannot add anything. So he just sends the letter as it is to Hazel. So it's a brilliant letter, and then he says he talks about a lot of things. He also talks about his wish to leave a mark on this world, but then he says that when we leave a mark, we often leave a scar. Okay, so we feel that we are helping others, but हर अच्छाई में कुछ बुराई भी होती है, और कभी कहीं ना कहीं हम अपना मार्क नहीं, हम अपना स्कार छोड़ जाते हैं. सो हेजल ग्रेस उस मामले में बहुत अच्छा कर रही है बिकॉज शी इज़ नॉट लीविंग एनी मार्क. And then then he says that Hazel Grace is the main hero over here because, like doctors say, first do not do any harm. अब if you are getting confused कि हम अगर कुछ करते हैं तो how are we leaving the scar, he tells this also. Let's listen. The real heroes anyway aren't the people doing things. The real heroes are the people noticing things, paying attention. The guy who invented the smallpox vaccine didn't actually invent anything. He just noticed that people with cowpox didn't get smallpox. Then he shares one of the incidents. After my PT scan lit up, I snuck into the ICU and saw her while she was unconscious. I just walked in behind a nurse with a badge and I got to sit next to her for like 10 minutes before I got caught. I really thought that she was going to die before I could tell her that I was going to die too. It was brutal. The incessant mechanized hankering of intensive care. She had this dark cancer water dripping out of her chest, eyes closed, intubated. But her hand was still her hand, still warm, and the nails painted this almost black dark blue, and I just held her hand and tried to imagine the world without us. And for about 1 second, I was a good enough person to hope she died, so she would never know that I was going to. But then I wanted more time so we could fall in love. I got my wish, I suppose. I left my scar. Then a nurse came in and he got caught and he had to leave that ICU. And then he ends with this last paragraph. He's writing it to Peter Van Houten. What else? She's so beautiful. You don't get tired of looking at her. You never worry if she's smarter than you. You know she is. She is funny without ever being mean. So he had this girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, who would always make fun of Augustus. So she would laugh at that he could not walk properly or something, and then she would laugh hysterically. So she wanted to be, funny, but she was actually very mean. But with Hazel, things were completely different. So she was really, really kind and funny also without being mean. I love her. I am so lucky to love her, Van Houten. You don't get to choose if you get hurt in this world, old man. He wanted to help Peter Van Houten as well. Please, I'm repeating this line. You don't get to choose if you get hurt in this world, old man. But you do have some say in who hurts you. I like my choices. I hope she likes hers. So basically he gets hurt by Hazel Grace, that she is so sick, and once you get connected to a person, obviously their pains you as well. And Hazel Grace also would be hurt when Augustus Water died, and thus he says that hurt तो हमें होना ही है, but it is on us that we can choose कि हमें कौन hurt कर सकता है. I like my choices. I like to be hurt by Hazel Grace. I hope she likes hers. And when Hazel reads, she obviously cries and she affirms that I do like my choice. I did want to get hurt only by you, Augustus Waters. And the novel ends over here. So I hope you like this book. And of course, whenever we are in a difficult situation, let's try to find a silver lining. Let's try to find some good in us, in things. And the good things may not last forever, but consider it as an infinity, because the memories would always last with us. So some infinities are bigger than other infinities, but nonetheless they are infinities. So with this book, I would request you to always cherish whatever good moments that had happened to you. Okay, whether they are in your life right now or not, but they were once in your life. Their memories are there with you. So always keep smiling over those memories and never regret, because that was very, very fortunate कि it ever happened to you. At least you got to experience that. So with this, I'll take your leave and we'll meet next time. Till then, bye everyone. Take care and happy learning. Bye bye.